It's fancy, isn't it? Right, another video then. The Royal Enfield video went down really well. So, Bolton Kawasaki asked whether I wanted to do a video on the new Versys 1000. Again, I'm not a professional reviewer. So, this is the 2019 Kawasaki Versys 1000. The actual one I've got in front of me here is the, I think it's the GT SE. I've got the handy list in front of me. Like I said, I am not a professional reviewer. So this one, yeah, we've got this is the SE GT, so this one is pretty much the top of the line. It does come with full luggage. If you look on there, you've got Versys 1000 SE offers, on top of the other one, electronic control suspension, integrated riding modes, Kawasaki quick shifter LED cornering lights, TFT colour instrument with smartphone connectivity, which is quite mind-boggling, to be honest. I'll show you in a minute. Large windscreen, heated grips and hand covers. I've ridden it up from the shop, just up to Rivington. Gorgeous area up here. I love it over here. Apart from the mess that people leave overnight. The weather is a little bit gloomy, but it'll be okay. So, first looks. It's not much different than last year's model, but it's a nice looking bike actually. It's a bit more aggressive. On this one, you've got on the SE, you've got the cornering lights here, which I presume will be quite good at night. The equipment it's got on it, well, first of all, we'll look at what it looks like. It's a really nice looking bike actually. It's quite... When I was at the Manchester show with Bolton Motorcycles, when we had this there on the stand, at first I thought it was more like a GS rival. Riding it up here, it's definitely more of a XR rival, I'd say. The S1000 XR. It's a lot more sportier than the GS, it's a lot more firmer. The equipment you get on this one is quite good, especially the SE. Well, the standard one comes without luggage. You can get a Tourer in every model, so whether it's a standard one, whether it's the SE, you can get the luggage as the Tourer pack. So, let's have a look here. This one I've got here is packed with electronic goods, so let me just get on the bike and show you. I'm hoping there's no rain spots on my lens. Oh, we look okay. So when you sit on the bike, the seat it's a big seat actually, it's nice and comfortable, not heated. So, this one's equipped with heated grips, obviously you got your passing light there. You got different riding modes. You can adjust your preload, which basically is another riding mode really. You can have it with one person without luggage, rider and pillion with luggage, or rider with luggage, or etc. Cruise control. Obviously there's your indicator horn. Start button, there's your select. This is the display. Obviously you got an analog rev counter, which does have like gear shift change light. So I'll turn it on for you. It's quite posh actually, Kawasaki there. And there we go. So at the minute I've got it on standard road setting. You can change the actual look of the dash as well. I've got it on standard road setting, and I've got it on single rider because I've got no luggage on, I've got no pillion on, there's no point. Looking through the mode, so if you hold on to the mode, if you hold it down, I think road, it's only got, oh no, you've got a rain one as well, okay. Might try that one out. I presume the rain one will lower the throttle response, increase the traction control. I think it does have traction control as well, I'll have to look at that up. So you got rain. Oh, rider. Ah, that's the individual one. So you must be able to, like, if you go onto preload as well. So you got that there. Yeah, it's clever. So there's like pillion with luggage, or just one. Select. Oh, blimey. Right, okay. Power. Select. Full. Nope, that one, sorry. Okay, you don't have to hold them. A lot of them, see, look, you've got your compression, and it... I suppose that's the indicator. Blimmin' heck, Joe, what are you doing? Reset. Okay. traction control level 2. How's the camera looking there? We're okay, we've got no spots on it. Blame me neck. Right, okay, we'll get out of that. So you've got your individual rider mode where you can, I'll put that up there so it doesn't do the battery in. Your individual rider mode, where you can set it up yourself. You can set your suspension up, your front and rear, you can set your traction control, you can set up your power modes, etc. So let's go up from that. Now to change it, you have to, I thought usually you press and hold it, but when you do that, if you go down, your average speed comes up. Just tap them: total time riding, battery voltage, mile per gallon, average mile per gallon, etc. When you go up, that's your lean angle. On a blooming adventure bike, it's mad. So max lean 35 degrees. It's not quite what Marquez has got this yesterday and today. Your odometer, your trip A, trip B. Press and hold. You got your normal road setting. Press and hold. You got your sport setting. I think if you press and hold it again, I don't think there is anything else. No. If you press and hold reset, oh no, it's not. Sorry, no. Oh, blimey, what have I done there? Oh, okay, changes the colour. Okay, press and hold, 1, 2, 3. Now, if you press and hold it for more than like 3 or 4 seconds, that resets your trip. If you press and hold it for 1, oh no, if you just press and hold it, it changes the colour. Okay, white, black, whichever takes your fancy. Press and hold select, that brings up your menu. Now you cannot access, I've tried this whilst riding, you cannot access the menu, the actual menu display on whilst you're riding. So on this, so you can obviously go up and down. You got your vehicle settings, which if you press select, you got your shift lamp on at 7,000 revs. 7,000, blimmin' heck, that's early. It redlines at 10. Get that changed. Ugh. Get that changed. What should we go up to? Usually on my race bikes, you were up a couple of, depending on how much it was dyno to. We'll go to 9.5. There we go, a bit more sporty. Load adjustment, okay, we'll leave that on there. Let's go back. Reset, you go back. So select to select, reset to go back. Can change your display. I keep pressing the blooming traction control. Display. So you got mode. We'll try that. Oh, type 1. Type 2. Let's have a look what type 2 is. Okay. Type 2's more of a blimmin' heck, it's got like a G sensor there, front and back. That's quite clever. Fuel gauge at the top, your time, water temperature, outside temperature. Okay, okay, that's alright. Right, let's see what else we've got on the menu. Did we go on display before? Yeah, that's just mode and brightness. Then we've got your date and your clock. I'm not going to bother doing that. Your service, I presume it tells you when your service is due. Oil change off, okay. Yeah, okay. Bluetooth. Now you can connect it to your phone. I've not even tried this. I am terrible with this kind of stuff. But apparently you can set the bike up to your preference over your phone. So suspension. Well, that's pretty much it, I suppose. Suspension, shift light, things like that. But I've not done it yet. So you guys out there will have to do it yourself. Not do it yourself, that sounds terrible, doesn't it? If I try and do it, I'll muck things up. And then you've got your units, which is pretty standard. So you got your kilometres and your miles. So there you go. So that's that. So that's pretty much your interface there. I'm going to keep it on that spot one. I quite like that spot. So the heated grips. If you press it once and it flashes. Now I'm not really sure what that's doing. It's flashing 3 times. Does that mean it's on the 3rd setting? Or does that mean it's... I don't know. Okay, press it again. Oh, that's gone green. God knows what that means. I'm going to have to look in the manual for this. That's quite... Usually, I mean, you press a button and it comes on. Your cruise control is there. Sorry, back to the heated grips. To me, if you press it, it should come up on the screen with what setting you're on. Or it should have like a toggle switch. So I don't know what that's doing there. Press and hold it. Does that turn it off? Might do. Okay, I'll have to look into that. So that's pretty much your rider interface. With regards to off-road riding, obviously it is kind of an adventure bike. I'll turn it off there so it can... Nice Kawasaki screen. It's classed as, in the book, as What are we on? Adventure Tourer. I'd probably aim more of a tourer, more of a sports tourer, to be honest. I wouldn't be like I've ridden in on this car park here, and it's quite gravelly. I have ridden GS's before. I've ridden Multistradas and XRs as well. This doesn't give you the confidence on this kind of terrain that the GS does. The GS I could just ride in here and just roll around. This is more aimed at touring long distances, but then twisties as well, especially with the electronic suspension. Right, so the standard Versys, so no colour display, no Bluetooth, no electronic suspension, no heated grips, none of the fancy stuff on the handlebars, no luggage, no spotlights, no big screen, just a smaller screen. That comes in at 11.2. Then you've got the Tourer, which comes with panniers on top of that, which is 11.7.999. Sorry, 11.699. And then you've got the Grand Tourer with the top box and the panniers. That comes at 12.699. Oh, it's on the Katana. Oh, there's my phone going. Then you get the SE model. So the SE comes exactly how that stands there, but that's the Grand Tourer. So on the SE you get the Bluetooth display, the cornering lights, everything like that. So you've got the standard one is 14.4, I think. Yep, 14.399. The SE Tourer, so with the panniers, is 15,099, and then 15.9 with the top box and the panniers as well. So what I think we'll do now is, before it gets even more wet on the road, so I can't have a bit of fun, I probably won't be able to anyway now, we'll have a bit of a bimble and I'll see what it's like. We'll go over the tops. Obviously with the rain being as it is, we won't be able to go too silly. I'll try out the modes, we'll get on the motorway, see, this will be a good test actually for the weather protection. So we'll get on the road, we'll have a nice twisty up to the motorway, get on the motorway and head back to Bolton Motorcycles before I get too drenched, because I am in my leather suit again. Let's see how this crawls. Actually, before we ride, let me just take that off. Actually, before we ride, I want to show you the centre stand. Now, the centre stand is so easy to use. It's for a big old bike, it's quite light actually, but for a big bike, literally, just stand on it and it's up. There's hardly any lifting going on, so that's going to be perfect. With the ride height, I am 5'6", and I'll show you what my feet are. So if I get on here now, so we're down. And if you look, I mean, the foot pegs are in a bit of an awkward position for me there, but I've pretty much got both feet on the ground, not flat, but they're on the ground. So we'll fire up, let's get up the road. The screen is adjustable, by the way. You undo these, lift them up. To be honest, I might do that now, with the rain being as it is. Start it up. Sounds right. Right. I'm going to take it out of sport for this. We'll put it in rain, seeing as though it's raining. Nope. This wasn't confidence inspiring on the gravel here, and the last thing I want to do is drop this bloody bike. Right, let's crack on. Oh. Yeah, so when you're on it, I can fit 1 foot flat on the ground easy. Definitely straight away with that rain mode. Oh, and it does come with a quick shifter, forgot to mention that. Close my visor. And now I don't know what you're going to be able to see. I'm sorry about the rain, I can't do anything about that. So yeah, it has got a quick shifter. It's alright, it's not auto blipper. The BMs have the auto blipper as well, and so does the Duke. But to be honest, for the road, I don't know. I only ever used an auto blipper once, and that was on the Harris. I'm hoping I've not got my cover on the camera actually. I hope it doesn't get bloody wet. Straight away, the bike it feels, I mean, I've got an old 1150 GS, which I need to do a video on because I bought that a couple of months ago and I've not told anyone. It was supposed to be a surprise for when we go to France in June with my dad, but I had to tell him because he's had a few hospital appointments and he was going to cancel. So anyway, this is a lot lighter, obviously it's a lot more modern. It does feel a lot more nimble. I'll tell you what I'm going to do, I'm going to head back this way. The rain's not very nice. Actually, sod it, we'll go on. Feels quite nimble. It's definitely light. The weight feels quite low down actually. See, that's using the quick shifter. Obviously it'll work better when you're giving it full beans. How's the camera looking? Oh, we're okay. I'll sit behind the screen. Now the screen is giving me quite good protection. I've got a leather suit on and I'm not getting that wet. Riding position is lovely. It's really neutral, to be honest. I was quite worried that it was going to be a little bit, the seat was going to be too firm and it was going to be a bit sporty, but it's really nice. The handlebars come nice. They're back enough, to be honest, where I wouldn't need risers on it. Some people put risers on this kind of bike. I wouldn't. The seat's lovely. Your legs are in a really nice position. I could probably sit here all day. It's really comfortable. I'll go over the tops. It's going to be minging, but we'll see what it's like. Watch the grid. See traction control kicking in there because I went over that grid. Yeah, I like the riding position. It's really comfortable actually. I think you could do a lot of miles on this. The tank is a 21 litre tank, so that'll probably get you good range. I think the GS is 20 litre in mine, the old one. Ooh, I hate being in the rain on very new tyres. Volvo Club there. It's gorgeous up here when it's sunny. To be honest, it's gorgeous anyway. It feels very flickable. Very flickable. Obviously, I'm not going to be getting any fast cornering done today or anything like that. Cyclists are still out. Fair play to you, lads. I nearly went for the downshift then. I was going into race shift. And it is quite, I mean, that's in rain mode obviously, so you have to remember that. Everyone will be calling my wet weather riding here, saying I'm a pansy. Last time I rode in the wet was when I had full wets on. Traction kicked in a little there, yeah. I'll tell you what, it does feel planted. This is definitely a bike you could ride around the countryside. You could do a lot of miles on this. I like it. Please don't break, GoPro. God, that view's amazing in the sunshine. Definitely getting good weather protection off this screen. I do like this screen. I can imagine the smaller screen might be a little bit, well, it will be, there's no doubt about it. It will be less. Just give me a finger wipe there. It will be less protection. But no, this is good. I like it. With regards to this, comparing to the XR, the XR's definitely got a lot more power. I don't think this has. I think it's like 130 horse or something like that. Where the XR obviously has a lot more power. But do you need all that power? Probably not. It's very usable. You definitely have to rev this to get it going. So the suspension is very nice. When I first got on it, I thought it'd be way too firm, but the electronic suspension will probably... God, it's very flickable, it's dead light. I thought it'd be a little bit too firm. I wasn't sure whether, like, it's nice. That's in rain mode, obviously. Let me put it in road. See what that's like. Definitely firmer. It's a lot firmer, actually. Quick shifter's alright actually. even at slower speeds. Such a shame about the weather, but there you go. Been my first review in the rain. Anyway, I'll catch up with you further down the road. I've come off the over the tops. The weather's crap, so you know it's not. I'm not going to get much seen. The mirrors are good. Like you can't see much of your elbow. It's good, that. I like that. That one's a little loose at the minute, so I'm going to have to get that tightened when I get back. See, the cruise light comes on there, set. There we go. Sorted. No hands. Cruise control, I think, is a big thing, especially on a bike like this. In this kind of market where you've got the XR, the Multistrada, even I'm going to put the GS in there because it's an adventure tourer. Cruise control is big. When you're doing them long distances on the motorway or the autobahn or wherever, it's so much easier having cruise control. You set it on there, you're not gripping on all the time to your throttle, you're not adjusting it, and then you just tap your brake and it comes off. That's really good. That's definitely a big plus. That's probably what would, I'm not sure whether it comes, the standard one comes with cruise control. I'll have to find out when I get back, but that'd definitely be, if it's an optional extra, brilliant. If not, then I'd be getting the SE. With regards to ride height and seat height, for me, I'm only 5'6". I have I think it's 30-inch inside leg. I can touch the ground pretty easy on this. Well, I say pretty easy. They do a lower seat, which will probably get me to flat on the floor. I'm not sure whether that compromises comfort or anything like that, but we'd have to find out. It seems this seat's nice though. Seat's pretty comfortable. You could probably do decent mileage in it, like I said before. Riding position is lovely. It's just a nice bike. It's really flickable. Compared to the Multistrada, now this engine, like I said before, isn't the most powerful in its class. The Multistrada is so much fun to ride. It's not like the old V-twins. It's the more modern V-twins where you have to rev it, and it does handle unbelievably well. I personally preferred the not the electronic suspension one, the one with just the O-rings on, so you could set it up yourself. Whether that's because of my racing background, I'm not sure. But my dad had one of them, and we had it set up by my suspension technician, and it was unbelievable. But a really fun bike to ride. But it was Ducati, and it come with Ducati running costs. The XR, the S1000 XR, was a nice bike. Another one of my dad's bikes. It was nice. It was quick, very quick. It didn't have the wow factor that the Multistrada had. I'd say this sits somewhere in between the Multistrada and the XR. It's definitely a lot more user-friendly than the Multistrada. It's not as quick as the XR, but it's definitely more user-friendly in the rain. The XR was quite twitchy, even in rain mode. It was quite twitchy. Anyway, what we're going to do now is, I hate roundabouts. You never know whether anyone spilt diesel on bloody roundabouts, do you, in the wet. We will head onto the motorway up. And, oh, traction control kicked in a little then. So the mirrors, if that one stayed there, are really good. I'm going to get up to motorway speeds. This guy let me out here, thank you very much. So we will get up to 70. Cruise control on, set the cruise. Right. Wow, the wind protection from this screen is fantastic. I'm not going to lie, it's brilliant. I'm going to have to hold that mirror out to see whether I can get in. There we go. I'm getting no buffeting on my chest whatsoever. One thing that this is very similar to the XR on. I know I'm sitting here at 70 mile an hour, I'm going to the speed limit, it's not worth my licence going mental. And a lot of you might sit at 70 mile an hour on the motorway, some of you might go quick, a bit faster. At 70 miles an hour I am getting a vibe. The XR had the same vibe. There is a tingling coming through the handlebars. I don't know whether bigger weights will help that, I don't know whether, I don't know. I'll see. It's just I'm getting a vibe. Other than that, weather protection is fantastic. Now, noise and wind protection is brilliant. I'm wearing one of my old race helmets, my HJC Alpha 10 Plus. These aren't a quiet helmet by all means. Race helmets aren't quiet. However, I've got no earplugs in because I forgot to put them in. And I'm not getting that much wind noise, especially for a race helmet. It's really good. So I'm quite impressed with that. Very impressed actually, in fact. Right, I'm just riding back to the shop now. And, oh, it's always slippy under here. I'm just riding back to the shop now. I just filled it up with fuel for the next people who want to come and test ride the bike. And I had it on rain mode. The roads are starting to dry out a little bit as I'm getting closer to the shop. And I'm going along and I wanted to put it up into rain. Obviously I'm into road, so obviously I'm in road now. You can't do it unless you're off the throttle. Now that might be a safety feature, because if you're in rain mode and then you quickly whack it up into sport mode, I suppose, then you didn't mean to. I suppose it could cause the bike to be less traction control and that. However, if you're on the motorway and you want to give it a little bit of beans and you want to go from road to sport, you have to come off the throttle and then up again. Strange, I suppose it is a safety feature. I'll put it back into road for now. If it was me, would I go for the SE with the standard suspension? Sorry, not the SE, the standard one with the standard suspension. I would go for the SE with all the gizmos on. If you get cruise control on the standard one, I will probably go for the standard one. This is brilliant, don't get me wrong. If you're really into technology and you're on all that, and you know you're into connecting stuff with your mobile phone, you're into looking at stuff while you're riding. For me, it's too much information to look at whilst I'm riding. It's brilliant. The display is very, very good quality, but it's just too much, to be honest. I don't need to know what my lean angle is. I don't need to know what, you know, my G's are. I don't need to know what my throttle position is. I know what my throttle position is because my right hand's doing it. But some people might like that. I would probably go for I'd probably save me money, go for probably like the Grand Tourer standard Versys. You're basically getting the same bike apart from the digital display and the suspension, basically, and a bigger screen. I'd probably opt for the bigger screen though as an optional extra, because this screen is brilliant. It's probably one of the best I've actually had in this class. Get in here. But yeah, it's a very nice bike to ride. Anyway, we'll go and park up. So there it is, the Versys now. I really like it. It's a nicer, it rides nicer than the older one. The engine's got a little bit more poke. It's not too pokey. You don't need all the power of the Multistrada or the XR, to be honest. But yeah, it rides lovely. So if you want to have a test ride on one, come down to Bolton Motorcycles, Ivy Road in Bolton. Speak to Bob, John, Alex, Lee, anyone in there, and they'll be more than happy to help you out there. Definitely have a go on one. If you're into this kind of bike, it's brilliant. I need to ride that next. Oh. Anyway, catch you later.